Hi, my name is Mark Sherlock, and I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My non-theatrical work experience comes primarily from working as a teacher. I have, I would say, 6 total years of classroom work experience. Most recently, I spent 2 years in Florida as an adjunct professor with Stetson University and Valencia College. In addition to that, I have a full year of experience teaching middle school. I have 3 years of experience as a graduate instructor at Purdue University. And aside from that, I have various part-time experiences working with high school and elementary age students in both summer programs and as a part-time teacher in various capacities. I'm really interested in any work experience that involves creativity, expression, communication, and presence. But right now in particular, I'm very interested in using those values and ideas, putting them into practice in a way that is really helpful or beneficial to someone else. I feel that teaching is one particular way to apply those and engage in helpful work to other people, and it's one of the things that drew me towards this opportunity as well. So for the next set of 2 questions, I'm going to focus on addressing them from the perspective and point of view of this teaching experience that I was just referring to. A time technology has challenged me and how I overcame it. The idea of incorporating technology into teaching work, into educational practice, is really the first thing that comes to mind there. Initially, I was very resistant to incorporating really any technology into my work as a teacher. I was influenced early on, I think incorrectly, but is what it is. I was influenced by this idea that the in-person experience was the only thing that mattered in education. You had to be there in the room with the teacher or the professor, interacting with all the other students. The in-person lived experience is what mattered, and everything else was just not as good. It wasn't worth your time. I then found myself in the circumstance, particularly in my last 2 years working as a professor with Valencia and Stetson, where really technology was much more of a focus than it ever had been before. I was required to really implement learning management systems every day on a regular basis, online assignments, online interactions, online discussions, online videos and articles. Technology was a very intense focus of all of the instruction. I was initially hesitant to it and probably didn't do a very good job at first. It was a challenge. Ultimately, I ended up overcoming that challenge, I think mostly by coming around to a change in perspective. Any teaching work involves interaction and engagement. You try to create a lesson or any kind of in-class experience by looking for different ways and opportunities to engage students, get them interacting and working with the idea, get them involved in the concept. Technology might not necessarily be as effective or as good in certain types of engagement, but my perspective doesn't have to focus on what it can't do. My perspective can focus on the things it is good at doing instead. Every challenge also presents an opportunity. Technology might not be very good at engaging students in ways A, B, and C that I had become comfortable with and gravitated towards, but it can be a very useful tool at engaging students in ways X, Y, and Z instead. Every challenge also presents an opportunity. So when I stopped focusing on all of the ways that technology couldn't do what I wanted it to do, and started focusing on all the cool, interesting, new benefits and opportunities it presented to me instead, I feel like that allowed me to work through this challenge, to find the benefit in this new tool, and I like to think I got better at my job as a result. A time feedback changed my perspective of how to do my work and how it changed the work I did moving forward. Again, drawing back to previous experience as a teacher, and in particular this time, my very first experience teaching. In work and generally in life, I value being prepared. I played Little League when I was a kid and wasn't necessarily always the most talented kid on the field, but I had a coach who used to tell me that hustle matters just as much. If you're not the most talented kid, but you work harder than everyone else, that's the way to get into the lineup. And I think as a result of that, I started to really put all of my stock in preparing. Some might say over preparing. But I always tried to do my homework, to outwork everyone else, and to show up early and hustle, for lack of a better term. After I graduated with my bachelor's from Temple University, I got the opportunity to pursue my master's degree at Purdue University out in Indiana. I had never taught before in my life, but as a part of being involved in that program, I got the chance to pay for my master's path by working as a grad instructor with Purdue University. It's a small department, so their grad instructors basically had the workload of an adjunct professor. You had 2 undergrad courses every semester, and you were in charge of everything. You were the solo instructor in that class from day one. Here I am, just getting my undergrad degree, never having even thought about teaching in my life, thrust into this role where I am basically the rough equivalent of a college professor with a room full of kids really only a few years at most younger than I am, if that, sometimes kids who were older than me. I was terrified. I did not feel in any way prepared for this. I did not feel like I was up for the challenge. So I fell back on this idea of being prepared. I did my homework. I would stay up till 4 a.m. the night before trying to plan out every last idea I wanted to communicate, taking notes as detailed as I possibly can, just micromanaging and planning out every small element of structure of the next day's experience. I would show up in my fanciest dress clothes, trying to look as important, as professional as I possibly can, sweating to all get out, I'm sure moving like a robot because I was so tense and nervous and a bundle of anxiety, trying to control every element of this experience. I was bad. I was really bad my first semester doing this. I was exhausting myself because I was such a bundle of nerves and anxiety the whole time, and I'm sure the students weren't getting anything out of it because I was so tightly wound and controlled for the entire length of the class. At the end of my first semester, here's the point. At the end of the first semester, you get the chance for students to give you feedback. They fill out a survey. They have the chance to submit anonymous comments. I was terrified of this. I was certain they were going to rip me to pieces. But the feedback was a lot more constructive than I was expecting. The one common theme throughout all of the feedback I got that first semester was not, he's awful, he shouldn't be here, he's an imposter, all the imposter syndrome things going off in my head. The one common theme was, he looks miserable. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He looks scared of being in the room with us. Why doesn't he want to be there? Various forms, on and on like that. The common theme was not my experience or my understanding of the ideas or how well I had planned. My common theme was my presence, how I was doing. Not necessarily what I was doing, but how I was doing it. So the feedback that changed how I worked was that the human element also comes into play. Hustle is good. preparation is good, not to discard any of that, still be prepared and do your homework. But the change was getting me thinking about how that's not enough. That's not all there is in order to be successful. It is also important to remember the human element. Be there. Be present in either a classroom or a conversation with another human. Listen. Put yourself at ease and also try to make them feel good about the work you're doing. Collaborate. Put value in the work the other person is contributing, develop those professional relationships. And again, prep matters. Be ready, do your homework, put in hard work, hustle, but let the human element work in tandem with that as well. Partnership with both of those things together is really what's going to set you up for success. It changed my thinking about it, and I have tried to let those things work in tandem ever since. Recess? Recess? I love recess. We'll be sitting in math class and it's so boring. They just go on and on about numbers and letters and blah, 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 blah. But then we get to go outside, and we have this big jungle gym, and they painted the metal blue, but then they've got these big, strong monkey bars, and it's a very big reach apart from them, and I didn't used to be able to grab the one monkey bar from the other monkey bar, but now I can. I just did it the other day, so the monkey bars are so cool. And then we have a slide, and then there's all these ladders we can climb, and then things to jump off of. And then Jimmy and I, there's this big field, okay, behind the jungle gym. Jimmy and I get to run around and play tag. I like to tackle him sometimes, but we also get to play lions on the safari. And what we do is that we just lie down really quietly, and we're like lions, and we're getting ready to attack our prey, and then someone walks by and they don't see us, and we're lions and we pounce. But Miss Anderson said that Jamie and I are talking too much in class about being lions, and that we're not paying attention the way that we're supposed to pay attention, and that if we keep talking and we're not supposed to be talking when we're talking, then we might not get to have recess anymore because we're talking too much. So could you talk to Miss Anderson for us? I really like recess, and Jimmy likes it too, and we really want to have it today. So could you say something to her, please? Please, please, please? Excuse me, sir. Hi, it's Mark from sales down the hall. Sorry to come knocking on your door. I know, very busy time, quarterly reports, end of the week, huh? Very, not exciting, but you know what I mean. I've sent you an email. We spoke briefly after the all-staff meeting at the end of last week. Again, I am really sorry to come talk to you like this. You got a lot on your plate, I know. There is a really important thing that I need to talk to you about, and a really important question to ask. Again, I feel like I need to apologize. Everything is fine. I'm very happy here. I love this company. I love the work I do. Really appreciate the opportunity to work here. I was wondering if we could possibly make the time to talk about a raise. Well, I mean, not always comfortable tooting my own horn or anything, but I do have the highest sales in the branch, in this entire office, and that's been true for the last 4 years. Think about that, the Reebok project last quarter. Well, basically did all the work for that 5-man team, but, I kind of pulled that whole thing together myself. James said so in the all hands last week. And I'm here. I've made this company my top priority. I stay late basically every day. I got a lot of good friends on that night cleaning crew. Know all their names. I don't think anyone else in this office can really say that. I've been working here 7 years and I have never missed a day of work ever. I've not so much as even shown up late. 2 years ago, my cousin passed away. I've known him since I was 6, but I skipped his funeral because the following day you said that there was a meeting that was important, so I was here. I showed up. I made the time. I made the sacrifice because I wanted to show you and show everyone in this office that being here, this company, this mission, it matters to me. Again, I understand that I'm asking a lot. My wife's expecting our first kid in a few months, and we're a little behind on the mortgage. And sir, this is what it comes down to. I understand that this is a lot, but I would not be asking you this if it didn't matter. I've been here 7 years. I have never asked this before. I might never ask this again. This is my one time. It matters. And that's how it is. What do you think? I mean, I don't know what else I would possibly need to do in order to be a valued member of this company. Like, what more can I do after that long list I just gave you? Is that not enough? Is that... Okay. All right. So here's how things stand. Here's the plan. It's Monday now. We're going to take this until Friday at 5. At that time, hold on. You've clearly spoken your mind. Now it's my turn. Please let me finish. Friday at 5. Take that time. Think it over. Decide if my 7 years of impeccable, flawless work is worth one raise. If by the end of the week, if by Friday at 5 you decide that it is, well, that's great. Wonderful. I will continue to show up to work every day on time, every day with a smile on my face. If not, if by Friday at 5 you decide that the answer is no, please know that you will have my 2 weeks' notice on your desk by 5:01. I'm going to go now. I'm going to head back to my desk and continue to do the flawless, impeccable work that you have seen from me for the last 7 years. I'm going to close the door behind me. Think it over. Thank you very much for your time.